I've heard a lot of people say that they want to wear natural fiber clothing, but they don't know how to care for it, and they're worried about the wear and tear on the garment, how long they last, and another big worry of people is how much linen wrinkles. The wrinkles don't personally bother me, but I thought I would share how I wash my natural fiber clothing to make it last longer and to avoid some of the wrinkles. To start, I make sure everything is buttoned or zipped. Then I turn it all wrong side out. This just helps to protect the surface of the clothing. It helps the color stay brighter because with clothes rubbing against it, the outer, whatever fabric is on the outside, will start to get a little bit fuzzy, which makes the color appear a bit more dull. So if you turn it wrong side out, that all happens to the inside of the clothing, not the outside. And I noticed a huge difference when I started doing this. My clothes just kept that bright, newer look. Then I go ahead and stain treat as I go. I'm using peroxide to help get rid of some smells, and you have to be careful of this because it can turn light garments in a light yellowish color. I haven't had that happen too many times, but if you get a bit carried away with the peroxide, it will happen. So I do that, make sure there's nothing mixed in with the laundry, everything's unfolded, etc. And then I add the laundry detergent. We normally use a unscented laundry detergent that is also dye-free. We had run out, so I had made a powdered laundry detergent. I would like to make our own, but some members of the family prefer a store-bought detergent, so that's what we do. So I add the detergent.
Hi, Jeff.
Then when it is done washing, whether I'm hanging it on the clothesline or putting it in the dryer, I always try to smooth out the areas that are prone to wrinkling. So with linen, I have noticed my dresses all like to wrinkle on the ties, of course, so I smooth those out really well. It only takes a few minutes to do this, but it makes a big difference, especially when you're hanging on the clothesline. And another area that seems to always wrinkle is the hem on the skirt and on the sleeves. So if I just smooth those out, it really helps them to not wrinkle, and then it saves time in the future because they're not getting wrinkled repetitively in the same pattern, which will make them more prone to wrinkling in the future. Now, I'm just throwing it in the dryer this time because our clothesline was currently down. But whenever I hang my dresses, I try not to hang it by the shoulders because that puts a lot of strain on the fabric and makes little peaked corners on the shoulders. If I hang it by the waist instead, the weight is more evenly dispersed and it doesn't stretch out the garment as much. And it helps it to last a lot longer, as well as not really getting wrinkled from the clothesline itself. If I'm using the dryer, I always do delicate and low temperature heat to help prevent shrinking, and if linen is exposed to heat repeatedly, it does start to wear on the fabric. Every once in a while, I like to deodorize my laundry just to keep it smelling really fresh. I don't do this very often, just every couple of months, but I just add some washing soda. It is different than baking soda. And I also will add some white vinegar. I don't always do both. Sometimes I just do one. It just kind of depends on my mood, honestly. It's pretty random, and I just do it every few months or so. I usually do this more in the summertime when I'm sweating more and things are just getting dirtier from being in the garden and stuff. I just like to do it then. I don't really do it during the winter or fall very often at all. Again, this is from just trial and error, but I have found that thin hangers are not very nice on your linen garments. They are really any of your garments, but I noticed it especially on knits and linen. It really puts a lot of wear on the seams of the fabric, and I noticed that it was starting to cause separation at the shoulder seams since the hanger ended before or right at where the seam started. So I have started thrifting these wooden hangers that are much wider and they are curved, and the shoulder width is a lot wider so that the clothes hang on them properly without wearing them out. As you can see, I only have a few of these. I have, I think, 4 now, but I'm working on slowly collecting those, and I really like the look of them as well. To help manage the pilling on wool socks and sometimes my linen knits, I use a de-piller. These are very inexpensive and I think quite worth the price. It keeps your clothes looking very neat. You can see the befores and afters of these socks that I did. I mostly just use it on my socks and occasionally linen knits or wool knits. My linen, it's dresses and things, don't ever need it, but it is very nice to have and I highly recommend it. I hope that this little video was helpful to you, that you learned something, and maybe this will help in your laundry routine. I hope to be continuing this wardrobe series and providing as much helpful information for you as possible. So if you have any requests or questions, please let me know in a comment, and I will try to get those incorporated into this series. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!